Hi everyone, welcome to Virtual Soul. We have some special things planned for you today. We have a special guest named... just got a tickle in my nose. Achoo! Oh my goodness. Anyway, like I was saying, we have a special guest named David. But before we have a look and get to know David, we're going to have a look at the drawings. So first up, we have Pippa Nelson-Hauer. This is Pippa's drawing. Well done, Pippa. Next up, we have Elise Brittle. Well done, Elise. Good job on yours. Then lastly, we have Grace Brittle. Well done, Grace. Awesome job, girls. Alright, so now I think it's time for the weather. Over to you, Liam.
Hey Salt, it's me Liam, the weatherman. I'm going to be talking to you about the weather, obviously. It's my job, it's what I do. And I'm going to be showing you just the rain today. So as you can see, the rain clouds are coming in. They're very dark grey and black, and that means there'll be precipitation, which means windy. You should know that. So remember to bring your umbrellas. It's going to be rainy as well, which is good for plants. Over to you, Tamika.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Storytime. Today we're going to be reading a story called The Good Shepherd. It's based on David the Shepherd King from Psalm 52, 2 Samuel 7, and paraphrased from Psalm 23. David was a shepherd, but God looked at him and he saw a king. Sure enough, when David grew up, that's just what he became. And David was a great king. He had a heart just like God, full of love. Now that didn't mean he was perfect, because he did some terrible things. He even murdered a man. No, David made a big mess of his life, but God can take even the biggest mess and make it work in his plan. I need a new heart, Lord, David prayed. Because mine is full of sin, make me clean inside. God heard David's prayer. He forgave David and he made David a promise. I will make you great, David. And one day a king will be born into your family and he will heal the whole world. Did you know that David was a songwriter too? In fact, his songs were so good, they might have been in the top 40 charts if they had been invented then. David's songs are like prayers. They're called psalms, and this one is called the Song of the Shepherd. It's probably number 1 on the psalm charts. And it goes like this. God is my shepherd, and I am his little lamb. He feeds me, he guides me, he looks after me. I have everything I need. Inside my heart is very quiet as lying still in soft green grass in a meadow by a little stream. Even when I walk through the dark, scary, lonely places, I won't be afraid because my shepherd knows where I am. He is here with me, he keeps me safe, he rescues me. He makes me strong and brave. He is getting wonderful things ready for me, especially for me, everything I've ever dreamed of. He fills my heart so full of happiness I can't hold it all inside. Wherever I go, I know God's never stopping, never giving up, unbreaking, always and forever love will go too. God gave David that song to sing to his people so they could know that he loved them and would always look after them, like a shepherd loves his sheep. And one day God was going to do something that would inspire thousands upon thousands of new songs. God was going to show his people once and for all just how much he loved them. Another shepherd was coming, a greater shepherd. He would be called the Good Shepherd, and this shepherd was going to lead all of God's lambs back to the place where they had always belonged, close to God's heart.
Hello, viewers, and welcome back to another fabulous episode of Salty News. I'm your host, Juliet, as I'm sure you already know, and I can't tell you enough how glad we are to have you back. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I have a surprise in the works for you today. In this segment, we have the handsome, the brave, a musician and a king, the ultimate rock star. You guessed it, it's King David.
Hey, Jules, it's certainly my pleasure to be here. Although I was those things, I was still just a man.
Well, I know you started out as a shepherd boy. That must have been a walk in the park minding sheep all day, compared to being a king and a warrior. Where did you get your skills from? You went from napping in the fields to fighting giants.
Well, shepherding was no small task. I had to fight off lions and bears, but God used that to prepare me to fight Goliath. Because God was with me fighting those animals, I knew he'd be with me facing a giant.
Cool. So out of all these things you're known for, which are you most proud of, David? Take your time. I know that's a tough one.
Well, actually, it's an awesome question, Jules, and the answer is not what you think. Those titles are really cool, but I guess I'm most proud of being God's friend more than anything else.
Are you kidding me? God's friend is cool and all, don't get me wrong, but look at who you are. Why is being God's friend the thing you value most?
Well, I wasn't always that impressive. God was the one who chose me and made me king. Even if I had nothing, God would be all that I needed. He's done so much for me and prepared me for so much that I couldn't have done it without him.
Like what? Surely you got the job as king of Israel because you're great at stuff.
Well, like in my song, I tell you, God feeds me and guides me and gives me everything I need. And not only that, he forgives me when I mess up, which I did do very badly. So, yeah, I'm pretty cool. But God is the one who is great. In fact, I was a pretty good king to my people, but I definitely was not able to die for them to pay for their sins because I was a sinner myself. The only one who could do that was Jesus. Boy, it would have been awesome to meet him.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. You were good to your people, but you were just a human and not perfect at all. What people need more than anything else was for their sins to be paid and forgiven by somebody who led a perfect life, Jesus.
Exactly. God is the only thing we need and the only one who can pay for our sins. He's the best friend you will ever have.
Well, regardless of your mistakes, I still think you're pretty cool, David. But you're right, God is the coolest and a great friend to have. Thanks for being with us today, David, at Salty HQ, and thank you, viewers, for watching. Stay safe, be good, and send in your artworks for next week. And we'll be back with some more Salty News.
Oh, David's an interesting guy, isn't he? I want to see who can draw the best Shepherd David. So that's your challenge for this week. Who can draw the best Shepherd David? All right, then when you draw them, send them in to this email that'll pop up on your screen, and then we'll have a look at them next week on Virtual Soul. But other than that, that's all we have for this week. See you next time.